Hello, I'm Javier Stewart here in Group 18, PHC 4464, and this is my Creative Solution PSA video presentation. Now, as mentioned before, my group research paper was Socioeconomic Status Affecting Childhood Obesity Rates here in America, but to narrow it down a little bit, and being a Florida native, I wanted to do a little bit more research as to how this was affecting my own state. So, here in Florida, I wanted to research obesity rates and their correlation with socioeconomic status amongst children. Now, childhood obesity is obviously a sadly a growing problem, and I think some would even call it an epidemic. So, without further ado, as mentioned in my previous video, I found this wonderful research done by Dr. Suzanne B. Johnson, and it's titled "The Prevalence of Overweight in North Florida Elementary and Middle School Children: The Effects of Age, Sex, Ethnicity, and Socioeconomic Status." The link will be provided below. At the end of the day, the obesity rates really varied by ethnicity and not necessarily socioeconomic status like I was kind of hoping for. There was actually only a 4% difference in children that were eligible and or were receiving free and reduced lunch as compared to children who were in a socioeconomic state that were not eligible for that and were considered full pay students. So, as I mentioned previously, my idea was that the only control factor we truly have over children today is, as far as their health goes, would be the time that they get in school, since it is all government mandated and government regulated. So I thought that maybe we could change up the meals. And Michelle Obama thankfully led a great campaign against this, or for this rather. So in 2010, we had the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act, and what it essentially did was create tighter regulations on what the nutritional standards for school meals are going to be. Now, this gave full control to the USDA to create these standards. And although we have come quite far from, before then, there still needs to be some work. On Let's Move obamawhitehouse.archives.gov. This was again initiated by Michelle Obama. An essential part really of getting kids to be within the normal healthy weight range for their age is the activity. And so, yes, school lunches have been improved, but at the same time, our activity levels have not. So it says here that children need a total of 60 minutes of physical activity each day, and adults need 30 minutes. So I remember back in the day that I only got 15 minutes of recess or like playtime on the playground back in elementary school. And in middle school, there was a required gym class that you were supposed to take. But my little brother and sister, it's been probably 10 years since I've been in elementary school, but my little brother and sister, thankfully, were in middle school just 3 years ago, elementary school just 3 years ago. And they told me it was the same thing, just 15 minutes. So since the rubric is still the same of where you do about 45 minutes per subject, and there's like 6 or 7 of them per day, my creative solution would be just 5 minutes from each subject. That gives you 30 to 35 minutes. You can add on to recess. So right there, you just bumped it from 15 to 45, 50 minutes of playtime for kids to get out there and get physically active. And I think that in itself will really reduce drastically the obesity rates that we are seeing here in America. Thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas break.